All right, we live
Yeah, what's good? Dirty Dancin 6 album dropping.
in this motherfucker.
Shit. Oh yeah, always good, always good. So shit, I just want to walk everybody through just through the progression of my career from the beginning all the way up to this point. I got an album coming out tonight at midnight, 50 tracks, 2 hours long, going crazy. But look, the first interest that I had in music was my my dad used to be, I really don't know. My dad went to jail one time, and when he went to jail, I found a letter in one of my drawers. In one of my drawers, it was one of his raps. He was a rapper too,
Mm.
and I read this rap. I always remember this rap though. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna spit it. You
Oh,
know what I mean? But
I was about to ask you how it go.
yeah, it's I remember finding this rap. I memorized it, and I didn't understand at the time. Like, it wasn't like I read this rap and just fell in love with rap. It was like I read this rap, and I think it planted some little seed that just sparks, this little interest. And it was kind of like it was kind of like I was sitting there at that time, and then as this person, I'm sitting up here at this time, and it was just all just a connect the dot move between the two. I think that letter that I found, that little rap, I think that was dot number one. That was the first dot.
Mm. What would you
So,
What would you say? So what happened between and how old were you at that time?
oh man, probably like 10.
Mm.
Yeah, probably like 10, something like that. Maybe, yeah, 10 or 11. But I found this rap, and I just I mean, shit, just growing up, I'm from California, so shit, just growing up, music was like, now I got family roots, like deep roots in the Bay Area, and it's a town out there, Marin City. Marin City is the town where Tupac came to when he left the East Coast to come to the West. I got deep ties there. It was Tupac really shined through, just through the bunch of artists that were around at the time. They even though shit, the artists that he was shining over, shit, shined more than a lot of the guys nowadays though. But Pac was a heavy influence. Shit, just listening to the music at the time, I didn't understand the deepness. I didn't understand the message, but his music was all around me though. Everybody
Mm.
played Tupac. You know what I mean? Like, especially in Marin City, especially right after he died. I met a Fanny back in the day too. I think I was probably 10 years old, which is his mom.
Mm.
This is, oh man, nah. This is like 7 years old. This is just after he died. And yeah, I mean, they both passed now, so shit, I can't prove it. But yeah, back in the day, yeah, I met them both. They had a little house on the water, and so, or I didn't meet them both. I met a Fanny. I never
Mm.
met Pop. I met a Fanny, and she had a little house on the water in Sausalito, California. But I think that was the deep moments. Those were like I was probably about ankle deep into rap about that time. Um, shit, high school came about. Well, you know what? Before that, the back in the junior high school days, 12, 13 years old, something like that, I started writing raps. Shit, Ja Rule, big inspiration. Um, 50 Cent, biggest inspiration.
Mm.
Um, oh shit. When 50 Cent came out, that's when I started writing. And the funny thing is, I would just be writing my raps as if I was 50 Cent. Like, I was just writing these 12-year-old impressions of 50 Cent on this paper. And shit, I went through that phase. You know what I mean? That was pretty much like the introduction. that was like the introduction to like, okay, like maybe I can actually like make something happen with music.
Right,
Shit,
right.
went shit in the high school days were like, you remember MySpace? I had a MySpace and shit. My old name was Ghost. So what it was is like I was putting out music on MySpace and shit would be bumping locally, like throughout the Bay Area and throughout the Valley. Shit, Sacramento. Spent some time in Sacramento, so yeah, I had shit bumping out there and all that. And shit, people started playing that shit in public, you know, buzz started happening and all that. And then shit, just personal life just got real fucked up. So shit, I had to shut the whole operation down. And and shit, what else happened back then? Shit, I had mixtapes out. I had this computer, this little fucked up desktop computer. I'm sitting up recording. One of my partners had a program and he gave me his program. Look, hold on, I'm gonna walk you through the whole thing. So
What age was
back
it
in
though? Or
okay,
what?
how about 14? Let's go to 14.
14.
Yeah, so high school. I get to high school and shit, I start meeting like shit, a bunch of other people and shit. Where I'm from, everything is gang related. Everything is all red. Like that's just what it is, man. You know how the shit go. And fucking so shit, I just clicked up with a few people. Once I got to high school, I clicked up with a few people. One of my partners were talking on the phone one night, and out of nowhere, I just bust out with this freestyle, and he was just tripping over it like the shit was just crazy as fuck. So he called one of his partners on three-way, and his partner had the studio. So I spit some other shit while on three-way for both of them. He's like, all right, well, shit, come through to the studio. Shit, we ended up making a group. Our group was trash, really, like shit, besides me and like shit, probably one other person. But we had this little group and shit, just being stupid ass fucking 16, 17-year-old idiots. Shit, we just fucked up our group just all over some ego shit. Motherfuckers talking about I'm the CEO of the group. Nigga, how the fuck we CEOs? We in high school, we broke as fuck. Like
Just saying shit.
literally, yeah, like we think we grown, but we're like fucking like little ass kids out here, like talking about, no, I'm the CEO of the label. And motherfuckers having fallouts over shit like that. Not me, but that shit just fucked the group up too. So shit like that happened. Shit, we ended up shit, me and the other shit, somebody else in our group ended up having a fallout, like some real beef type shit. And fucking just cause the motherfucker was on some snake shit, man. He was one of the ops anyways. He was one of them kind of dudes who's like, he's I don't want to sound ignorant, man, because it's hard trying to relate to people what it's like to be in California, like in gang circumstances. You know what I mean? It's hard for people to really understand that. But the motherfucker he was just snaky. You know what I mean? It's like he's one of them when he's with them, but he's one of us when he's with us. One of
Oh,
them.
I know
You know what I
people like
mean?
that,
Yeah, one of them. He is one of them. And I don't want to sound like the motherfucker that's acting like, oh, you know what I mean, you can't be friends with who you want to be friends with. But you got to understand, this gang circumstance changes shit up. You know what I mean?
yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
caveat. It's a caveat in life that shit, at least in mine, that shit you got to just take that shit on the nose wholeheartedly. But shit, that happened. Shit, I ended up getting kicked out the house. Shit, like 17 years old, because I was stealing money from my uncle. Bro, we would sit up and eat dinner. And I eat my dinner dumbass fast. I eat hella fast. And then I go to his bedroom and I get his credit card and I'm online with his credit card, paying my phone bill, fucking buying shoes You know what I mean? Just shit like that. And shit,
Oh,
and I left town. I left town and I went to my pop's house for a minute. And then my grandma had called him and she's like, yeah, Jabari been stealing my shit. I'm like, oh, bruh. So then I had to leave home after that. I didn't go back home after that. Like that was like, I never even went back. Like I had just left for like a week or two and I was supposed to like come back home. And when I left, I just never went back. Still to this day, I ain't never been back there.
mm.
So um, when that happened, I was around, I mean, the hyphy movement was pretty big. Shit, Mike Jones, Paul Wall, Chingy had just broke out. Oh man, 50 Game had just came out. You know what I mean? Game was like Superman, like to me, like at one point in time, like looking back on it, I think 50 I think 50 was probably a bigger inspiration, but Game is a very, very close second. Very close second. And shit, I mean, let me see. Then when I was about 16, 17, that's when I started writing. So my first album, the Dead Trees and Red Skies album, I started writing that probably, I think I was 17 years old, started writing. It's one of the reasons why it's hard for, it's hard for people to really understand the transitions, man, because they hear what you was like when you was 17 years old and shit, it's like they want you to be that person again.
Yeah, even though you 5 years older than that, 10, then when you become 10 years older than that, like you can't be on the same thing.
Yeah, yeah, like, bruh, I can't be on that same shit. Like, literally, you can't be on what I was on back then for this long. You know what I mean? Like, you can't be on the shit that I was on for 10 years, bruh. Like, it's not cracking. Like, one way or another, it's not working for 10 years. If it do, I'm telling you, if what you do is working for more than 10 years, then I'm telling you, you wasn't touching me back then.
Mm.
But it's like, started writing, and then I got this program and I started making beats. It was FL, Fruity
Mm.
Loops, back in the Fruity Loops days when they still called it that.
Which
So
one was it? That was probably like
take a guess.
what, like 7?
7, yeah. Yep,
Yeah.
FL7. Yeah, I was on there and I made the beat for my song Jose Cuervo and the beat for my song I Don't Want to Die Tonight. And that was I think I was 17 when I made that. And I held on to those beats and this phone that I had, the little SD card. I ended up holding on to that shit for like 2 years. When I was 19, I was finally able to record it. So I started making hella beats and I just turned into this musical engine. And shit, I don't know, bro. It was like listening to fucking all West Coast music. I went through phases. Like now I'm to the point to where I can kind of listen to everything at the same time. Like I listen to this genre, the next song, another genre, next song, another genre. Back in those days, I'd go through these long phases, 6-month phases of listening to nothing but this. That's why I'm educated on this shit, man. You know what I mean? It's like I went I went on like a 6-month phase, nothing but West Coast music, and I'm already from the West Coast. You know what I mean? So it's just all extra knowledge. This is all extra. Like when these motherfuckers say that they study West Coast music, they talking about they study the Chronic and they study fucking Doggy Style. You know what I mean? That Chronic and Doggy Style, that shit is like in my DNA. I could rap all that shit off the top of my head like now. You know what I mean? So when I got into the West Coast music, I got into the shit that motherfuckers out there didn't really know about. Got real educated in that underground game. And shit, eventually, shit, that ended up being the same game that I broke out of. I started putting out a bunch of songs on MySpace, and shit, a few of them got traction. And I mean, obviously, it got traction in my area. You know, it was around Northern Cali. Shit started getting traction, and then I was just thinking about, you know, how to brand myself. I wanted to have something that was legit, but something that really hit home culturally. So my middle name, Dondrell, I used in 209, where I'm from, just became my you got to keep in mind, this is also like the time of this is like the birth time of all the social media shit, having like an online identity. You know what I mean? So, you know, it's like, so if you went and looked up Soulja Boy, you'll see Soulja Boy tell him, Soulja Boy tell him, Soulja Boy tell him. And that's like his online identity, you know what I mean, that he has to have all of his, like to have his like to have his profile organized. Right. You know what I mean? And that's what I was doing, you know what I mean? So shit, I used to just go by Dondrell, and then I put the 209 on the end of my shit just for that reason, because I know it's another Dondrell out there, you know what I mean? All this shit. So I put the 209 as that, okay, now this is how you find me type shit. And that just became my name. Shit, Dondrell209, Don Twomp, Donnie Twomp, all that shit. That's another thing like about the slang. For all the folks out there who don't know, Twomp just means 20. You know what I mean? And 9, you know what I mean? It's the 209, you know, like bad addition. What's 1 + 1? 11. You know what I mean? Bad addition. Twomp 9, 209.
Yeah. That's
but shit, after that, I was just putting out a gang of music, like all online. And let me go back though. So I went through like 6 months of just all listening to like underground West Coast music. Then I went through like phases of listening to all underground East Coast music. Then I went through a phase of listening to all freestyle 80s music. Just boom, you know what I mean? Just that type of shit.
That shit.
Yeah, I went through about 6 months of that shit. The OD phase, I went through like a year of OD phases that I really still ain't really out of yet. Those are just shit, the phases I went through. I think musically, that's kind of what crafted me musically. If you were to hear my music back in the day, you'd think that I was some kind of some species of Brother Lynch. Probably somewhere between a Brother Lynch and a Kendrick. Wicked like Brother Lynch, but more lyrical though. You know, saying like Wicked with that wordplay. But more lyrical, you know, more somewhere between between a Lynch and a Kendrick, which is actually odd because this whole little old school West Coast sound that everyone's bringing back, and I mean the old school West Coast sound, not the new school, you know, I'm not the, you know, Tyga. You know what I mean? Not like that. This new school shit. I'm the old school sound, the shit that Kendrick be pushing. You know what I mean? Mainly.
Yeah.
That man, go listen to Dead Trees and Red Skies, man. I'm telling you, I'm Don Dada. Fools can't fuck with me, man. I'm telling you, I was already on that. And on top of that, like even culturally, like a lot of this Wicked shit, I was even on that back then. You can go on YouTube and look at all the artwork, like from my old songs. You see like 666 jacket. You know what I mean? The fucking the satanic dimension of things.
You before
fucking like
Tyler the Creator and shit like that.
Oh yeah, but before all that, man, that's one of the reasons why I wanted to do this, man, because people don't understand. Like they don't understand that these fools. I mean, it's the same way how you're like a super famous star, but you have an Instagram. and you go online and you find a funny video, and then you go and you repost that fucking video. And I mean, all I'm saying is that these motherfuckers smoke dope.
Oh shit, bro. What you mean?
No, I'm just saying these motherfuckers just be running off with the sauce. You know, like the
Yeah.
same way how much like they could look at a video, and you got to think they could just watch the video, not post it, and then just go and recreate that shit. You know what I mean? And boom, and they can boom off the work of another person, and they can do that to a fucking peon, bro. Like you ain't got to be nobody. Like motherfuckers could literally just go online, look at your shit, like, and if your shit got 2 million views on it, like my shit does, like, come on, bro. There's no way that that the underground rappers aren't you know, that the culture is not bleeding upwards to these motherfuckers, and they talking about you know, all this original shit, like, bro. I even checked out Russ, man. I'm disappointed in y'all.
Damn, for real? What?
I'm disappointed in y'all, man.
His shit.
I'm talking about the beats are decent, not phenomenal though.
Yeah.
His vocals are decent, not phenomenal. His rapping is decent, not phenomenal. I just don't see what the hype is, man. I think his like anti-rebelliousness, you know what I mean? It's like the conservative motherfucker that goes against the like the conservative that goes against the motherfucking Democrat, but then that motherfucker want to act like the Democrat is the motherfucker who's going against him.
Yeah. I see what you mean. What'd you do? Would you like go watch some interviews, or did you like listen to just checked it all out?
Yeah, I mean, I think I've seen one of his interviews. Yeah, I seen one interview, and shit. Besides that, shit, I just surfed through his music on YouTube.
Mm.
Yeah, so listen to some of his shit, and I mean his style, the style. I just don't see it, man. I don't see it. I'm way doper than Russ, bro. Like for real. Like
That's what a lot
it's
of
not a
people say,
game.
though. A lot of people kind of have that opinion. Like he just does everything. I guess you could say good.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
nothing is really like, oh, he does this really like extremely well, or he does this extremely well. Like he just does
Yeah.
everything good.
Yeah, and on top of that, I mean, I just don't see like nothing's like really special about him. Like I don't know, man. I feel like the controversial shit is like, man, it's a catch-22 because shit, you get stuck between having to be controversial and having to be or people, you know, having to pay attention to your controversy versus having to pay attention to your music, because it's, I mean, come on, like how you can't just pay attention to one and not pay attention to the other motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like come on, bro. Like if a motherfucker is like if RuPaul came out with like a gangster ass song, like bro, you're not just gonna listen to it and just be like, oh well, you can't judge him personally in his music. Like they gotta relate at least like a little bit.
Yeah. I
Like
feel you.
they at least gotta like be in the ballpark. I lost my train of thought. How'd that relate to Russ?
Talk about the controversy.
Yeah, let me think. Controversy and Russ. Yeah, it's one of those controversies that I think is just kind of cheap. It's kind of easy. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, you know, it's kind of like, you know, you just standing up and saying like, yeah, we need to solve poverty. You know what I mean? It's like, yes, it's like no shit. Like that's the easiest one. That's that's
Yeah.
that's that's the easiest controversy that you could bring up. That's kind of what I mean. It's like motherfuckers are overdose on drugs and then they fucking die, and motherfucker, you want to like get like hella controversial over that shit. Like and that's the thing. It's not even controversial. I actually mean controversial. Like, it's not like like the motherfucker just be weighing in like with full-hearted intentions on helping motherfuckers out. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, come on, what does shirt say? Like, what, you take Xannies, you're stupid or some shit?
No, I think it's a how much Xans and lean do you have to do before you realize you're a loser?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You
But
know what I mean? Just
yeah,
that kind of shit. And
I feel
that,
like a lot of people's problem with him is he like the way he comes off almost seems like a holier than thou type. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the way I think that's the vibe people catch from it. Whereas it's
yeah,
like I just look at him kind of like I just look at him for what he is and like shoot, bro went platinum off of doing the whole shit by himself. His first album went platinum and he did the whole shit by himself and I'm like shit, like not a lot of people did that. So I mean that shit hard. I don't get in my feelings for real like about too much of what he says or does, like how everybody was getting mad at him about the producer shit and shit like that. I was like, whatever, bro. Like, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I just kind of just take it for what it is. I got some songs by him that I like, but I don't really too much go in like think about all the quote unquote controversial shit. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. Um, yeah, fuck Russ. That motherfucker ain't shit. Boy, I give a fuck if this shit went. I don't give a fuck if this shit went platinum, bro.
Oh.
Like, bruh, come on. Like, think about how many albums out there that went platinum. Like, we could for sure bring up some garbage ass albums that went platinum. I ain't saying that this shit's garbage. I'm just saying the platinum thing.
Yeah,
But no, you know what? He do deserve his props though, cause shit, it's not like it's something easy to do. Like, it's hard,
yeah,
like to sell. It's hard to sell a single record like to anybody at one point. You know what I mean? Like, it ain't now. You know what I mean? Like you got. Come on, bro. Somebody got 10 million followers online. It's not hard for you to sell a record.
yeah. That's
Why you
true.
think why you think the quality of music started sucking so bad? Because everybody got popular and they realized that you got people dumb enough to buy you fucking farting on your ad libs. Fucking,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Shit. It's damn near the same concept with you know, like with the designer clothes and shit. Like step one to having a business where you can sell people underwear for $1,000 is having someone stupid enough to buy underwear for $1,000.
yep.
And that's how I look at a lot of these people's fans. You know, so it's like yeah, you more than a million stupid motherfuckers in the world. You know what I mean? Like,
That's a fact.
but to keep it all the way real, you know, just to bring everything back down to earth, you do got to give him his props on that, because like I said, it's not easy to go platinum, bro, and it's motherfuckers who got 1 million followers who still can't drop like a platinum album. You know what I mean? Like, I ain't saying that all the hype is for nothing. I just think it's overblown though. I don't think
Yeah,
he's, you know, the thing is, his craft, I think his craft is excellent. You know what I mean? It's just the final product, just the motherfucker's crafty as hell. I just don't feel the final product. That's just it's just kind of weak. And his face being on it is like the logo being on it is just it's just unattractive. Like, just unattractive. But to be honest, he's not even really in my ballpark anyways. Like, I wouldn't be slumping or shit like that anyway.
mm,
I don't even listen to like that kind of music anyway. I'm just
yeah.
saying, you know what I mean? If you know what I mean? I'm just saying, I listen to the motherfucker. I don't think the motherfucker is really all that. I eat him up. Got a track record to prove it too. Got a track
Facts.
record to prove it too. That's why I want to do this, man. Cause shit, I got a track record, bro. Fools can go up and look at the whole history. Everything's documented, bro. They can check the dates.
That's a fact. So
Like I'm saying, I ain't sold 1 million copies, bro, but do this shit too, though. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
do this.
But what would you say, like going back to, I forgot where we kind of ended at as far as like the timeline.
Shit, my first album, you know what? It was kind of like I used to have this thing where I would go up to Walmart and I'd buy me a laptop and I'd keep it for 2 weeks. You get 14 days on the return policy for electronics. So I keep the shit for 2 weeks and I would record. I had a keyboard, a mic, and all this shit. I always had all that shit on deck. But I was always broke, so I had to flip my laptops just to be able to keep money in my pocket. So eventually, and I'm talking about I went through like probably 3 dozen laptops like on Craigslist back in the day, flipping these motherfuckers like back to back to back to back. I'm talking about this one fucked up, this one's battery fucked up, motherfucker. I'm finessing fools. iPhones, boy, all that shit. All that shit. Fucking so I would keep that shit. And you know, you buy the laptop, now you got 13 days to record a full tape. And that's how I do it, bro, is because for years, bro, that's how I was making music. I had to get my tape done before I had to take my computer back. You know what I mean? So now you look at me today and you see that's how I'm able nowadays to push out fucking new song every day. You know what I mean? 3, 4, 5, 6 beats in a day. I'm talking about from beginning to end, all original, completed. Fucking full songs, all original, completed. There's been times like, bro, there's been times where I bought the laptop, kept it for 2 weeks, made beats, took the shit back, went through all types of other shit, and I'm just sitting on all these beats, just trying to come up with songs for these motherfuckers. So when I get my next shit, I'll be able to record, and eventually I get my next shit and I'll be able to record. And that's kind of the way that I've been putting out music this whole time. Always been my own studio, self-made, all the beats, 100% of them, my equipment, you know what I mean, paid for, even when it was shitty, you know what I mean, the shit was still mine. And fucking after that just kind of took a hiatus, and you know, just ran off to the cave on some monk shit. Ran off to the cave, shit. Man, I think this is probably 24, 25 years old. Probably, no, this is earlier. This is like 22, 23. Shit, it was, someone's in trouble. What was I saying?
You went on a hiatus. You said you ran off to the cave.
Yeah, I ran off to the cave like probably 22, 23 years old, and all I did was just read. Like literally, I ran off, and it was like fitness. I would fight. Like I'd go to the gym. I would train. Look, this is pretty much how my day went for like for years, bro. I lived like this loosely. It was shit. I would get up, go run 4 miles. Then shit, I would go to work. I'd get off work, and then I'd go straight to the gym and train 2 hours. Then I get back home and I run 4 miles again. This is like every day. And the only thing I'm doing between these times is reading. I'm at the bus stop with a book. Like I'm going to work with a book. I'm reading books on my break and shit like that. Science books. I mean, shit, really just all nonfiction. You know what I mean? Hawking, Dawkins, shit, Harris, Hitchens, fucking shit. Penn, fucking mainly Hawking. Hawking was a big one though. Harris was a big one too. I don't know if you know Sam Harris, but he's a big inspiration to me, like intellectually. Big inspiration.
What was that
Um,
about? What
you
was that about? Like, what was the reason? Like how you said you took a hiatus and you just kind of ran off.
um, you know what? I think it was half of it was just being down on my luck at the time and not being able to, like, just not having the resources to get the equipment I needed to actually rap. Um, Shit, some of it was just being discouraged at the fact that I'd been rapping so long and nothing had cracked yet. Um, some of it came with the ignorance that thinking that I was 24, 25 years old and I could have been too old.
Mm.
Um, it was just a bunch of shit, man. Just a bunch of shit. Shit. The flip side of it though is I had a need. I had a need to be intellectually stimulated, and I couldn't get it from rap. So I think that was a big one. That was a big one. There was just a level of smartness that I wanted to get that I just couldn't find in rap. You know what I mean? It was like there wasn't enough. They didn't say enough things that I didn't know.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like everything they said, like I'm from the inside of this culture. You know what I mean? So it's and on top of that, it's like I'm not the stupidest motherfucker in the room. You know, in most rooms I walk into. You know what I mean? So it's like shit. Just that shit. That was part of it too, though. I mean, I feel like that would have to be part of it. Another thing is shit. I just started reading shit that actually made me think. Shit, Hawking was real big on that fool. Like sometimes I would smoke and I'd go outside, bro. I used to go like a block from around my house to this old ass church, and I'd take some weed behind that motherfucker and just sit on the stairs, put my Stephen Hawking audio book on, the Brief History of Time. I put this audio book on, and literally I just be looking up at the sky, listening to this full read, like trying to just map out the sky. And I'm not gonna sit up here and act like I have the whole sky, you know what I mean, like just all figured out and all that. But I did know it better. I did know it better when I got through reading his books, though. You know what I
Mm.
mean? And that's something right there that you can't get from rap. Like honestly, you really can't.
Oh yeah, nobody's gonna tell you to even do that in the first place, or nobody's even gonna really say anything to make you want to go do that.
Yeah. Or I mean, if people want to get that same sentiment across, they blend it a little too much on the creative side, and you lose some of that. You lose some of the factual beauty. You know what I mean? Getting lost in the abstract section of it. And it was that factual bit, you know what I mean? That it's not just the fact that that there's just this idea that black holes are out there. It's the fact that they actually are out there. Factually, they actually are out there. You know what I mean? It's
Mm-hmm.
not just it's not like something that has to be taught to you through a metaphor or something. It's just direct. It's just these books are just kind of a way of tapping into the beauty of the world directly.
Mm.
Or I mean, it's indirectly because it's through a book, but as directly as you could through a book, I guess.
Exactly. So, what music did you have out from to that point? Like when you say you took a hiatus, how much music did you have out at that time?
I think I was probably 10. I think I was probably 10 or 11 tapes deep at that point. Because I had the name switch and I switched it to Dirty Dancin. because I had a tape. Now under Dondrell209, I got a tape called Dirty Dancing. And it was something about it, yeah, it was something about that kind of stuck with me. And then later on I had a song called like Bitches Love Dirty Dancing. And man, I don't know, man. It's weird because it's kind of like this self creation. You know what I mean? It's like I kind of thought of it, and then it just kind of grew up and just took on a life of its own, kind of.
Mm.
Yeah. But shit, the name switch, shit. I mean, I feel like I lost contact with a lot of my fans. I lost contact like with a lot of people through that, but man, I went through like all the measures, man. I jumped through hoops to try to get everybody to pick up on all the new music. The thing is, a lot of the people listen to the new music and they really just didn't like it. You know what I mean? Because after a hiatus, you got to think, if there's people listening to me at the beginning and end of that hiatus, so not just before the hiatus, but the beginning end of it, and then you listen to me, you know, halfway after I come back. You know what I mean? Shit, the shit sounds like two different artists.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And shit, at the same time, you got these people who've been listening to me back then, and you got to think, at this time, they're still kids. You know what I mean? Like, these motherfuckers, like that, a lot of the motherfuckers, they don't really fuck with the shit like that, because motherfucker, you was listening to my shit when you was 11 years old back in the day. You know what I mean? Like, you was
Yeah.
11 when you was listening to my shit, and here I am after the hiatus, and you only 17, bro.
Yeah, they wanted some more of
You
what
know
you
what I
was doing
mean?
before.
Yeah, that's the thing. A lot of them just you know what I mean? That's just the kind of music that they want to hear in the first place. You know what I mean? So you got to think, if let me think. You got to think, if you heard TK's first album and then you heard TK 8 years later, but he sounded like Big Sean, you know what I mean? Then obviously, you know what I mean, you're gonna have the younger people, they're not gonna fuck with that, because it's not because they don't fuck with you because you switched and all that. It's just they fuck with that kind of music in the first place. It
Mm-hmm.
ain't got nothing to do with you. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
they're
they
gonna
fuck with that kind of
they're
music in the first place.
they'll probably find somebody else who's similar and get on to
Yeah,
that.
exactly. So, and that's the thing. You got these people, they're still kids. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you 11, and then for 8 years later, bro, like, you 19. Like, come on, bro. I know it's people out there that hate hearing that kind of shit. You know what I mean? But shit, I'm fucking 29 years old, bro. So when I think like of me being 19 again, oh man, hell no. Just think about being fucking 16 again or some shit. Like, fuck that shit.
Damn. So then that would put us at what? At Deep Red Lake then? Because you put that out in 2017.
Yeah, yeah, that was after the hiatus. Um, boy, I went through all types of shit back then. I went fucking homeless. Fucking boy, I'm talking about just ugly time, ugly point in life. Police fucking always fucking with me, fucking costing me money, fucking fucked up license, and just I'm talking just all the shenanigans, bro. All the shenanigans, goofy shit. Um, shit. One thing though is just because I had to straighten up. You know what I mean? It's another part of this whole transition. Another part of any transition really is like, bro, like eventually you just gotta understand, like, that you just can't be moving, especially once you already got a name out here, bro. Like, you can't be moving like you can't just be moving like like you still fucking 19 years old, bro. You fucking 35 years old. Like, ain't nothing worse than that, bro. Ain't nothing worse than the man who never grew up, the man child. It's the worst form of man that you could be. And you know what I mean? And I'm not saying that like in a judgmental sense. I'm saying that like when you become that man, that's how you're gonna feel.
Mm.
Like that's how you're gonna feel about yourself. I'm not trying to pass the judgment.
Yeah. So what what were you doing? Because you was recording all of that from what 2016 into 2017.
Yeah. You know what? I think I just started man, I just had these little notes that I would always sing. And and I just figured shit, if I just keep repeating these motherfucking notes and shit, then shit, that's damn near like a whole style in itself. It was kind of similar in principle, like the sound wasn't, but in principle, it's kind of similar to a Roscoe Dash. You know what I mean? That's just how we do it. You
Mm-hmm.
know, you see what I mean? That vocal that he always hits, that same vocalization, that same cadence.
You was on that,
You know what I mean?
yeah, that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's Roscoe.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And that's kind of what I was doing with the yeah. I was doing that in principle. You know what I mean? The sound
Mm-hmm.
was different, but it was the same technique though. And I was shit just trying to develop this style and shit. Eventually I did it so much to where a piece of it just kind of became permanent, and I would change up a piece of it became permanent. And when I would change the other pieces, I ended up having something that was radically different from what I was in the first place. You know, in the early Dondrell209 days.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it wasn't just growth like as a rapper. It was growth as an engineer. You know what I mean? That birthed this new segment. You know what I mean? Growth as an engineer and fucking growth like as a marketer. You know what I
Mm.
mean? Like all the shit. That's the fucked up thing, man. I don't just jump into the booth, you know what I mean, and spit and walk out the booth and my job's done. I do all this, bro. All this. Built it all.
Big facts. So how talk about how when Deep Red Lake came out, the people who was still tuned in with you, how did they receive it?
Almost all of it is good. You know what I mean? For the most part, most of the feedback that I get is good. No, for the most part, all of it. I mean, but pretty much all the feedback is good. Anytime you get someone who doesn't like it, that's the thing that's real hard, man, is because you never know if somebody's trolling you or if they actually just don't like your shit. Like I've had people like troll me, like, you know what I mean, like, oh, this shit's garbage, fuck you know what I mean, like all the goofy shit. But I haven't had anybody, you know what I mean, tell me like, bro, like your shit really is like kind of average, bro. Like your old shit is like way better and you need to step it up. Like
Mm.
everyone who hears my shit, bro, like, you know, I got gas, bro. Like in a deep way, bro, like in an intimate way. Like I be like it's deep. It's one thing when I write my verses, I try to have this is a weird thing, man, is because I don't have like a normal writing style. You know what I mean? It's like you know how Dipset raps? Matonto, what he say? My fo piece talking sound oh so sweet, talking to Momo Street, talking to Stone Cold Steve. That repetitive rhyming scheme.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I think like that when I rap. I think like that when I rap, but those rhyming schemes tend to come out towards the end of the bars, and that that's the thing. Is real. I know it sounds stupid because it's like, of course, the rhyme comes at the end of the bar, but these aren't like normal bars. Like I don't just spit like 16 bars, 8 bars. Like these aren't like traditional rap songs. I mean, like, some of them are, but I have a very random format. My format is random, totally random. Every single song, like every single song is random.
Yep. And then
But the dead trees and red skies shit was or not dead trees and red skies, but Deep Red Lake. Shit, all self-produced, fucking shit, and that shit slaps. The I mean, if you go back and listen to it now, obviously the mix sounds like shit. But fucking but shit, but I cleaned it up now though. So shit, fuck that shit anyways. I got like way more songs than that anyway. So
yeah, and that shit
and you
was,
know what?
you was
And
working
them
off.
motherfuckers, yeah, we're working off of a shitty ass setup too, bro.
Yeah.
Fucked up ass, broken ass laptop, fucking fucked up ass, broken ass, taped up microphone, and like, bruh, that's the thing, bruh. People don't understand. Like, if you hear my music and it sounds shitty, you got to know, like, I probably damn near made that shit with rocks and dirt outside somewhere. Like,
Yeah. Didn't you
but
do what was it, like the basement mixtape or something like that? Like on some
yeah,
headphones?
yeah, I made that one on the iPhone headphones. You know what? That's why everyone was hating on that shit like big time though. They're like, motherfucker, you need to get a mic. I'm like, well, shit. I'm broke as fuck, bro. I ain't got no mic. Like, literally, that shit's called the basement because I was living in my cousin's basement, and that's just the music that I came up with when I was down there.
Mm.
So, shit, that shit is like, I feel like that mixtape is ass as fuck, anyways.
Mm.
But you know what? That's kind of, I mean, man, once you start putting out music that's on the level that mine is on now at this point, like here coming in the next 50 minutes. Like, bro, once you put out music that's like that, it's like it's real hard to go back to some shit like that. Like this shit just bumps like way harder, bro. Like the beats alone, like I've always been able to come up with like dope ass beats and been able to keep the bass slumping and shit. But this shit right here is like, hold on, something happened to my camera. You see me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, something
It
was
came back.
like yeah, it was like like something about the beats nowadays. I feel like for the most part, that's kind of how shit is going nowadays. Is the beats got better, but the raps got worse. Not, I mean, in general, I'm not saying that every rapper that's out now is worse. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But for the most part, they kind of are. You know what I mean? Let's be honest. Like most of them kind of are like a lot worse than everyone who came out back then. And
Hell yeah.
I mean, by back then, I'm talking about the early '90s. So I mean, shit, that's not even like really my generation for real. I was just shit. I was just, bro. I feel like I slept through the time where I could have like shined the most, bro. Like,
You talking about when you say you was taking a hiatus?
nah, like way before that. Like, shit, like you know what? I should have just jumped on. It's because I'm not like hella like, I'm not like a super open person. You know
Mm.
what I mean? So when Facebook was coming out and all these new apps and shit was coming out, I should have been one of the first people on that shit, bro. But I was like coming on to the shit like years later. And now we find out years later that, and you got to think throughout this whole time, these things are starting to become even more and more important to a rap career. You know what I mean? So it's like the man, it's just like the cost the cost of me not making that move now or not making that move then just started adding up and adding up and adding up like exponentially over the time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? To where eventually I feel like I just worked myself into a spot where shit, I just had to figure a way to break up out of it. You know what I mean? And even if I didn't really have to, I felt like I had to though.
Mm. Yeah, you kind of, you really was starting from zero. Like Deep Red Lake, you damn near starting from zero.
Yeah, and that, you know what, that's another part of it, is that the fan base actually changed. You know what I mean? The fan base was the fan base um went more from being, your young gangbanger in the neighborhood to shit, to branching out to being like shit, more of the white boys in the neighborhood.
Mm.
Like, I mean, don't get it wrong. It's not like, I went from rapping like fucking Kid Frost to rapping like Young Xan or some shit. You know what I mean? Like, it's the flavor is still there. It's just that it's modernized now, and motherfuckers don't be getting that. Like, they still want to hear these boom boom clap ass beats. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the fact of the matter is, bruh, like, y'all need to get with these 808s, bruh. Y'all got to get with this real slap shit. You know what I
Them
mean? That
808,
slump.
them bitches be slapping. Like I fuck with 808s, bro. Like especially when you in the car. Like come on, I don't see how you
Yeah,
can't. I
them.
don't see how you don't like that.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's a lot of a lot of simple bass lines, a lot of this is like the shit that they want to hear. It's like they want to hear like bass line, like they want to hear a bass instrument. They don't want to hear just the 808 beating. You know what I mean? And that's what I want to hear. I want to hear the
Mm.
808 beating.
For real, I feel you
You know
on
what I
that.
mean? So it's just shit. It's just shit. Motherfuckers just have musical preference. That's just the way the shit go. When the rap game is all going like this, and when it's split off like this, shit. Well, some people are gonna stay here. Some people are gonna shit jump to the other side, and
Mm.
shit. You pay a price. You know what I mean? That's the thing. Is you don't know. Like, you don't know that if you stay in position one, you know what I mean, that your career is going to either blow up. You know what I mean? Like, shit, it could have blown up if you stayed in position one. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
you only find out shit if position two don't work. So, bruh, it's shit. The shit's just tough, bro. It's a tough one.
All right, so talk about the Living Dead video.
Oh yeah, so I think that was man, I want to say I was probably 21 when I made that. For one, we got to talk about the song though. Original beat, hard lyrics. I'm talking about lyrical like no other, bruh. Lyrical like no other.
And it's your only video.
Yeah, only music video ever, bruh. And fucking honestly, shit, I'm embarrassed by that shit now. Like, a lot of the old shit, I just don't listen to it, bro. Like, you got to think, I'm the person, like, I'm the one who made all that shit.
Exactly. I know
Like,
how
I
that feels.
created. Yeah, bro. Like, I'm the one who created all that shit. So, you know what I mean? Like, come on, bro. Like, it's like come on.
You know it
What
from
you gonna
top to
do?
bottom.
Exactly. Like,
You recorded it. Yeah.
yeah, I recorded it. You're gonna invite Stephen King to your house just to watch it? You know what I mean? He gonna look at you like you're a fool, bro. I'm not trying to watch that shit. I'm the one who made it. I already know everything about it and all that, bro. So, like, and you got to think, like, how many times do you think you play a song, like, while you make it?
Yeah, while you're recording it, while you're mixing it,
Yeah,
the
while
beat
you
too.
making the beat.
The beat.
Yep.
So you've heard everything probably 50 times. Like
I'm talking about in intimate detail though.
each
Like,
section,
bruh,
all that shit.
yes, like if I change something in the hi-hats, when I listen to the song, I'm listening for that change. You know what I mean? That's the level that I know. That's how deep I know the music. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, shit. And I guess shit, the music's still out there. Motherfuckers just go out and keep on listening to that shit. And when you finally know it as deep as I know it, you'll be ready for that real slap. Be ready for that shit, boy. I'm talking about shake the trunk for real, bro. 808. I'm talking about distorted 808, motherfucker. Going going nuts, fool.
So, with that being said, that's your only video. What about your little interview you did? The only interview you got too, until these ones come out.
Not not even gonna lie, I don't remember the interview.
It was like the cemetery interview.
Yeah. I know the video. I don't remember the interview though. Like I don't remember what I said or what dude asked or any of that.
Like what? Who put that
I
together?
remember, huh?
Who put it together?
Shit, my cousin.
Mm.
Yeah, my cousin put it together. The motherfucker rap, or he sings and shit too. He's cool. He got a music video out and shit. I just watched it. It's halfway there. Put it like that, halfway. I would tell you, but halfway. You know what I mean? 50%. I ain't gonna put him out at 50%. I'll wait till he get it up. You know what I mean? Let you know what he talking about.
Mm. So, all right, then up next would be Fatality and Brutality, right?
Yeah. These
And
were the Fatality and the Brutality. These were all songs that Fatality, Brutality, and Deep Red Lake actually are all songs that all just kind of came in a bunch.
mm.
The Deep Red Lake tape I put out on its own. And then I was just thinking of how to market I had like what is it, 25 songs or some shit. I was trying to think of how I can put out 2 tapes and how to market it. And then I had to listen to the songs and I had to think, how do I market it? And it had to relate to the way the song sounded some way. And shit, I noticed the Fatality, Brutality shit, boy, that shit was sounding hella dope. So shit, I kept that shit and shit, I just rode with it. And shit, boy, that shit's hard right there. Big step up from Deep Red Lake.
I would say
And
so too.
yeah, it's a big step up. Not like the shit that's about to drop at midnight though. Not like the BloodLust audio.
It was sonically better. Like the beats, like everything got better, and it was a little more different too. Like you didn't do the same thing. You know, there were some songs that could have been on Deep Red Lake. I think like maybe say like Meet Again, that could have been on Deep Red Lake, but for the most part, everything on there was like different.
Yeah,
Like I would say
yeah,
like
and
Gloom Bloom, Catch Me in Hell, Uncle Sam, like all that shit, Like Me, just all that shit was different.
yeah. And that song, I really like that song. Like Me, yeah, that's my shit. I fuck with that one.
Yeah, that
It's
was
like when I turn it on, it feels like I'm playing a throwback.
mm-hmm. That shit was hard.
Then shit, I had the Doom tape, and then shit, and then I had the walking around in the dark tape that I put out on SoundCloud.
I feel like you need to put that
So,
up on Apple too.
oh yeah, it's all going on there. It's all going on there. Let this quarantine run its course, and by the end of it, it's all gonna be all up.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So, but those were shit. I'm trying to think. The Doom tape was the Doom tape started off with the slow intro. Life and death been a motherfucking juggle. I bring all these niggas trouble. Bitch, I play by the rule of the jungle. Damn, what is that shit called? Hate. Damn,
Hold on, I'll pull it up.
I forgot what that shit was called. But yeah, that tape, that shit goes hard as fuck, bro. That shit goes hard as fuck.
Yeah, Die
The,
for Me or Vanity. That seemed like
no,
it was
no,
on.
no, no, not that one. The intro to the Doom tape.
I'm talking about just that was one of the songs that was on that tape.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's a classic too. That song, I fuck with that song too. Real special. It's a real special
You
song.
talking about Date with Hate?
Yeah, that's it. Day with Hate. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. From that to the Young Buck remix. Shawty wanna ride with me?
Yeah.
Let your hair down. Yes, to to the Cardi freestyle, which is actually a fucking a mimicry of the Spice Girls too in the hook. Tell me what you want, what you really, really want.
Yeah. You I would say that there was one song off of what was it? I think it was on Brutality when you remixed the G-Eazy song.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
song went up.
that was the No Limit, the Jeezy and Cardi song, No Limit. Yeah.
I remember that song went up when you put that one out.
Hey, I got a bang in that song, boy, on this new one though. I'm talking about I sampled it and all that.
By who?
Oh yeah. Oh, oh man. Watch, bro. When you hear this shit, you talking about by who? I'm telling you, wait till midnight, bro. Just wait till midnight because we got other ears listening right now. So
I forgot when you say midnight, it's Pacific time. So I remember I got out the shower, I was taking my shit. I was like, it's midnight. And I was like, oh shit, yeah, he probably got it on Pacific time.
yeah, yeah. It's midnight my time. Absolute.
So that's in what, like
But yeah,
30 minutes? About 35 minutes.
yeah, yeah.
And
Yeah, I'm
then
about to get all that shit going.
Doom Tape. Yeah, Doom Tape. After Doom Tape, walking around in the dark.
Now we talking about like these tapes are. I think personally, I think these tapes are leaving the other ones in the dust, bro. They're leaving the other ones in the dust. Like the walking around in the dark tape. As soon as the first song come on, you already know. You got a serious contender. Like you got a serious contender with this rap shit.
Yeah, the beats was crazy on that one. And then I feel like the song Home, that was like one of them songs that stood out as like on Deep Red Lake with Red Doves. Like it kind of just different type of genre type song.
Yeah,
And that shit really stood
yeah, and
out.
that's you know what that's the weird thing, man, is that it's fucked up. It's not fucked up. It's just crazy that it's hard for people to understand what I mean by this, but it's not like I really have control over the music, bro. Like I sit down at the fucking computer and it just comes out like that.
Mm,
You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
it's not like I sit up and I'm like, oh, you know, I want to make this kind of music and this. It's like, bruh, it's just I just shit just been working on my craft for so long. That's just the way it comes now. Like shit the way somebody would throw a punch. You know what I mean? It's like shit. Eventually, you've been working on this shit so long, bro, that you got your little tweak on that motherfucker, and you just know, like,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
it's
Shit
not
is,
intentional.
yeah, yeah. But that's not. It's the emphasis is on the other side of it not being intentional though. It's like it's actually like it's like it's something that's happening to you. You know what I mean? Like it's not something. You know what I mean? It's like you have a song and as far as the song is concerned, you're the thing that's happening to the song. You know what I mean? That's how the song comes to be because you happen to it. You know what I
Mm.
mean? But it's like, but when I make music, it's damn near like shit. I just sit down and I'm just sitting in this. It's damn near like I'm in this dimension where I'm just where the buzz, this giant buzz of the universe, is just flowing through me and just comes out in the form of music like that. Like I mean, almost like nature. I mean, it is natural. Like natural. Natural is the right word.
Mm. I say it's like that with the beats. I'm trying to get there with the music.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, shit. I make all my beats too. So shit. I mean, if it's like that with the beats, then shit, ain't no choice but to you know what I mean. Shit. If I rap, then shit, it's gonna follow suit. So
Mhm.
shit. Eventually, shit. I just ended up with this style. Shit. That's like. I mean, something else is you gotta understand, bro. Like the police are like a motherfucker. You know what I mean? And shit, motherfuckers out here got like histories, like we got like a deep cultural history, you know what I mean, that we got to be careful about the way we portray it today.
Mm.
You know what I mean? It's like it's you know, it's one thing to jump up in a movie, you know what I mean, or to, you know, to document some shit like that's from the 90s and shit, but that shit that's dead time now. Like that shit's gone, bro. That shit don't even exist no more. The 90s is gone. You know what I mean? So shit, we just can't be doing all the same shit, bro. Like I'm not about to be fucking running around here fucking with fucking red bandana hoodies on and fucking red rags on my head and all that shit. I didn't understand back then how much, like how fucking stupid I was being. Shit, when I went on that little reading binge, one of the things I did was I got into a lot of mafia books too. And it just taught you I mean, it just taught me not necessarily humbleness, but because I mean, we all know there's a snaky side to the life, but it's like it just taught me like how to be like more careful, you know what I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't in this it wasn't in this like feel bad about yourself because you weren't driving in the nicest car kind of way, you know what I mean? It was more of a you know, feel good about yourself, because shit, when a motherfucker gets smacked out here, it's gonna be bro over there in the bins and not me.
Yep. Yeah, that's a fact.
I forgot what the point. What the fuck was I just talking about though?
You saying, so you started with
Oh
saying the police.
yeah, that's one of the things about just about the transitions through my career. You know what I mean? Is now you end up at this spot. You know what I mean? And shit, you just understand, bro, that you're not a fucking 16, 17-year-old kid no more. You know what I mean? It's like eventually the lights kick on and you just wake up and realize, like, bro, you just can't be fucking, like, that shit is just goofy, bro. Like, you just can't be the loudest. That's one thing. The loudest person in the room is, everybody know how to finish that, man. The
The
weakest person in the
weakest.
room. So,
Yeah. That's how I see a
yeah,
lot of shit now. Like, kind of like how you saying you was reading mafia books. It's like they wasn't going around screaming, "Oh, we in this family or this family." No, it was like, "What mob? What you talking about? What mafia?" I don't like, you know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like, and it puts
And
a
that, and
target.
that's,
It
go
puts a
ahead.
target on your back, especially when you get to a point like both of us, like how were we when we linked up, like we was both kind of out moving solo. You know what I'm saying? Like, so then you have to
Yeah,
really move different because it's easy for it's when you by yourself, you don't got too many people around you. It's easier for the police to mess with you and shit like that. So you got to move extra careful.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, it can't just can't be out here running wild and shit like the way shit like the way the old Dondrell209 did. Like, bro, I used to just be walking through the city with all red on with a red rag like over my fucking face, like just taking pictures and shit.
Mm.
Like, bruh, fuck no.
You would see that again.
Yeah, but yeah, those days are gone, bro. It's just like that's the thing. Like another thing is shit. I know who I am, bro. Like everyone already knows the history and shit. Shit, I just come on, man. Like everybody already knows the history. Like, what's the point? What's the point in fucking walking around? You know what I mean? Showing off colors and shit. Like the and shit. Honestly, the color shit is kind of dead though. Like especially in Cali, because I mean, if it's not, it should be. You know what I mean? Because I mean, come on, bro. Like the color. I mean, just picture if mob guys just ran around identifying themselves with colors.
Mm.
Like, come on, bro. And you saw who? I mean, one of the loudest mafia members out there, John Gotti, and you saw what happened to him. The motherfucker died in jail.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? And that's John Gotti. You know what I mean? And all that motherfucker did was just fucking buy nice shit and you know what I mean, and smile for the cameras and you know what I mean, be handsome. That's all that motherfucker really did. You got motherfuckers out here with tattoos on their face and you know, and I'm not necessarily putting that down, but it's that on top of all the other things. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? It's the tattoos on the face, plus your pants sagging, plus you not being well spoken.
That
You know
shit
what I
add
mean?
up.
Yeah, yeah. So it's not just your pants sagging. Like you could sag your pants, bro, but it's all that shit all adding up. You know what I mean? That just make it, man. It just fucks up the odds. It fucks up your odds, and you gotta understand. Like if motherfuckers do that shit, then the whole legacy is over. Like the whole thing's over, bro. If I would have stayed like that, I would have been in jail or I'd have been whacked by this time, bro, and the whole thing would have been over.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that's the plateau that I'm on. You know what I mean? I want all these people to really understand that. You know, this is some real history about to go down. Midnight Bloodlust Audio, 55 songs, 2 feature verses. Shit, one beat on there by yours truly, Zay the Great Demon, motherfucker. Everyday Gray, goddamn it, dropping at midnight, about to get this shit going, get the bar
Yes,
jumping.
sir.
So shit, I guess shit. Till next time, fool. We can shit. Next time we gotta jump on here. Shit, probably after. I think it'll be I think it'd be good maybe if you know we give this album a full playthrough and give maybe make a review video or something like that
Yeah,
when
yeah,
the
for
time's
sure.
right.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.